So the rest of the poems are from my new book, Like Flesh Covers Bone, which is also from Zeitgeist Press. The Fall. I don't want to be Joan of the narrative arc here, wielding my flaming sword of story to drive you from my personal bleeding heart liberal paradise. But here's a prompt. Write a poem using the words Grant, Bell, Garner, Brown, Ford, and Rice. Employ a light touch, no sing-song or doggerel, no sentimentality, please, no rants. Attention to form, but not formality. Invoke all the senses. Let me see, hear, feel what the 12-year-old saw, heard, felt, waving that BB gun around the park. The gold and orange leaves of Cleveland, the smell of them rotting in rainwater, the black and white pulling to the curb, the crack, the pavement rushing up. So does anybody know who that poem is for? Tamir Rice, that's right, Sid knew. He's a 12-year-old boy who was shot while playing with a toy gun in the park across the street from his house. This poem's the title poem of the collection, and the title is taken from a line in a Bukowski poem. Like flesh covers bone, says Bukowski, but I've seen bone that flesh didn't cover. I've seen a blonde girl stare at the sky, her rib cage sprung open like bony Stonehenge. I've seen a toddler's chicken ribs splintered by a bullet shot through her bedroom wall. But not until the bomb in Boston had I ever seen a man awake staring at a foot-long bone shank where his leg used to be. The word made bone, stripped of flesh, oozing marrow. This next poem is part of the exhibit that Angela is curating, the Artist at Work series, and afterward we're going to go take a look at it. So if anybody wants to come with us, please do. It's from a series. This poem is from a series I wrote about the wives and daughters of doctors and scientists. Mrs. Papp. Andromache Mavroianous, daughter of a high-ranking military officer, was educated, spoke French, played piano, and, in her teens, dressed fashionably. George didn't ask for her hand, but offered marriage like a deal. He laid down the rules: no children. You will assist me in my work. She accepted the terms. Mrs. Papanicolaou let her husband, the doctor, swab her cervix daily. He called her my victim, his special case. As his unpaid assistant, she procured women for him to swab. Before that, he inserted cotton swabs daily into guinea pigs' tiny vaginas. Then she became his darling guinea pig, climbing onto the exam table every morning for 21 years. Monuments laud millions of lives Pap tests saved. He is women's hero, she the ultimate doctor's wife. Her hair is gray, her smock a sack. She looks away from the camera. They married before Grafenberg's IUD. How did they prevent children? Did he ever bed her? Or was the daily swab the only act of love? Thank you.